Our visit to New Zealand was unexpectedly gorgeous. We arrived at Queenstown just in time for a visit to nearby Arrowtown, a bustling small city started by a nearby gold rush. Today, it's near a skiing area that attracts upscale visitors. Who knew that bungee jumping got started in New Zealand? This old bridge over the Kawaru Gorge is the site of the first commercial bungee jumping operation. After A.J. Hackett bungee jumped himself off the Eiffel Tower in Paris. It's $75 a jump. After that kind of excitement, we went to the nearby Fiordland National Park, home of some of the most beautiful scenery on the planet. We stayed at Anou. The next morning, we went to see the tiny glowworms deep underground after an exhilarating boat ride.
So the males will fly around the cave, finding as many females as possible, fertilizing as many eggs as possible before they drop dead of pure exhaustion and starvation. The females then have a very hard task of laying those fertilized eggs. She will lay up to 150 eggs in clusters of 20 to
After viewing the glowworm caves, we ventured further into the park.
Boat cruise to get proper photographs.
Okay.
They're incredibly intelligent.
Well, you fix to take the top of that car off.
Well, they're a bit like that. They are brilliant. They're amazing.
The Milford Sound is actually a fjord and a fun cruising experience.
So what is a FergBurger?
There's another one. 2 more by the white.
Yeah, I saw their tail, their fins.
In the middle of the bay. And there was dolphins swimming around. It's just like they were trained.
Yeah, there I saw one. See there.
They're all heading this way.
Yeah, that one skipped a little bit. The gray one. They're just kind of sunning themselves without the sun. On our way back to Queenstown, we saw a stout trap that helps cut down on an introduced predator to the native wildlife. After we returned to Queenstown, we settled into our hotel. The next day, we set out to explore the city from above on a ride up the mountainside to Bob's Peak.
And then have to go down over here to watch him bungee jump.
The FergBurgers.
There's the loose track. Here's the bungee jump.
Queenstown is famous in many quarters as having the FergBurger, the best burger in the world. You know, I think they might be right. Supper that night was on a sheep station at nearby Walters Peak. The cool part is taking a working twin-engine steamship. After the meal was a sheep shearing demonstration.
Oh, look at him.
We're quite aware of them. Bye.
One of the highlights of New Zealand were seeing some of the sites where The Lord of the Ring and The Hobbit were filmed. The first tour was at Glenorchy, northwest of Queenstown.
So they managed to do quite a bit of filming through this valley with regards to those movies. I'll just show you a few photos of what they filmed in here. So pretty much where we're standing, this was one of the main settings for Loch Lothian Forest, bearing in mind this was about 18 years ago when they were filming. Now you can see the colour of the moss when, you know, how rich it comes in the leaves, the colour of the leaves certain time and the sun shining through the trees. So this was a perfect setting for Loch Lothian Forest. All the elves, of course, had the pointed ears, and a wonderful actress from Australia, Kate Blanchett, who played the powerful Galadriel. When they interviewed her, they said, "Kate, what were your main reasons for wanting to be in the Lord of the Rings movie?" She said, 1, I liked Peter Jackson. 2, I loved the story, and 3, I loved the beautiful pointed ears, the elvish ears. And she said they make everybody look beautiful. So at the end of the movies, the people made her own special personal set of elvish ears that she got to take away with her. Okay. If we had been here, if we had been allowed in, but of course no one was allowed in while they were filming. If we stand behind me and look across here, here's little Sam and Frodo lying on the top of that hill looking down to the, supposedly, to the Olipons. And this photo's taken looking projected across this way. So that hill is that hill you see right there. And you've got all this camera paraphernalia going on right beside them.
Queenstown is on the South Island, and our next stop was on the North Island, and it involved a flight to Rotorua via Christchurch. There were many native Māori living there, and they were proud of their culture, as we saw.
Great speech rhythm movement, accompanied by song or chant, but perhaps it's easiest to spot the flight patterns of birds and insects, for example. Now, traditionally, the poi was a little bit different.
After the native customs were explained, then a hangi feast was served, cooked in an unground barbecue.
4 hours, by then you'll probably be starving. But ladies and gentlemen, your food should come out looking like this. Premature.
After the feast, some native dancing, music, and of course, the Haka war chant.
Alright, so if you could please throw those applause at us when you hear a break after each item, don't be shy. Other than that, all we want you to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy your entertainment through the world of the Māori. Kia ora! Kia ora!
The next day, we visited the Wakariwa Thermal Village with a really long name.
To this little mouthful. It is the full name of our village, and it is pronounced, mouthful, isn't it? It is pronounced Te Whakariwariwatanga o Te Ope Tauwa Awahio. Good morning. Over here!
Throw a coin and we'll see you pick it up.
This is not the 100 Celsius temperature water.
No. So my guess, this is the coldest waters here. So what she does, she's a little bit smarter than I am. She actually is the noble people as beings. My aunties, uncles, cousins. Pillars don't look different to each other. They're carved with something significant to their lives or something significant they've done. So she is the one, or the carving in each house related to her, with the empty water calabashes around herself. Now what you smell is not what you'll taste. That simply is just a smell. The only thing going to come on out of here tasting or smelling like egg, most probably just egg. The beauty of cooking inside here. You can put your meal in here from 8 o'clock in the morning. Go about your day, do whatever you have to do. Come on back at 4:35, pick up that meal, and dinner is served. Pounds of cabbage, carrots, broccoli, cauliflower. See you, Tia, thank you so much. Thank you.
Not look well fed.
No, yeah, I know. You're coming down from the top of the water. And you will see the one on the left-hand side is called Pōhutu Geyser. Today I feel like it's not as humid as other days, but I feel like it will rain in the late afternoon.
That's the forecast.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Rain. There's a lot of sense it's going to rain around supper time.
I'm going to take an iPhone one on mine. So I'll send it around. That's not a good camera.
No. Something like
We shopped, ate, and generally enjoyed ourselves on day 19 of our tour. We also visited the Rainbow Springs Park, where the endangered kiwi are bred and returned to the wild. Their numbers have been decimated by many introduced predators. Despite a brief downpour, we were the invited guests of a local Kiwi family, Justine and Bruce Winslade of Rotorua. It was fun and delicious. The next day, we left our comfortable hotel in Rotorua for Auckland by bus, stopping at the Hobbiton Movie Set used in the Lord of the Rings movies, as well as the Hobbit trilogy.
They made it out of very temporary materials, so a lot of polystyrene, a lot of underneath plywood. They spent 10 months building it, 3 months filming, and once they were finished, they took everything.
Hobbit book, and it mentions Hobbit children sitting under fallen trees, looking at the fruit and I'm afraid though that is just an illusion. Back around in the jungle.
From Hobbiton, it's a short distance to Auckland in the northern part of New Zealand, where the Sky Tower overlooks Viaduct Harbour and a city of 1.4 million people. An excursion took us to Waiheke Island the next day, with its vineyards and an olive oil mill. We got on our 9th flight to go to Nadi, Fiji, and a beautiful hotel right on the beach. The next day we went to the harbor and got on a sailing ship to go to a private island to spend the day having fun.
It's very, very close compared to snorkeling. Touching magic coral. Say hi to Nemo and Dory. Right? Okay, and when you return, then they'll give you a license. Remember, it's a PADI program. It's recognized around the world. It's not like SSI. SSI only recognized in Australia. Right? PADI dive anywhere around the world. If you want to give it a go for scuba diving.
Tour mates Ken and Lyman went deep sea fishing, and we helped them eat some fresh tuna. It was wonderful.